Okay, okay. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Okay. If I could also ask before we begin, this is just there are two Barbara Bears.
Wow.
So just trying to understand
You mean there's two of me on?
with the name.
Oh,
Okay. So yeah, if you could you I don't know if I could do it for you. Do you know how to change your other name, the other person who's here?
Yeah, this is Linda Hoffman. I'm from New York Foundation for
Oh.
Senior Citizens. And I didn't realize that I was supposed to be on your panel group. I thought I was just going to be a bystander listener. So she gave me
That's
this.
fine.
Shall I drop
Oh,
off?
you're using, okay. Do you know how to rename yourself? If you go to the top right, of you click on the top right, there's three dots. You click, I'll left click on that, and then on the bottom it says rename. You see that?
I see.
The top right of your box,
did-
and then at the bottom, the drop
I-
down, one of the things should say rename.
I just have chat, show caption, webinar, webinar settings, and background and effects.
Keep going, lower down.
They have
Should
raised
be all the way on the
hand.
bottom.
Is it? No, unfortunately not.
Okay,
You want me to
maybe-
You know what?
just pop? I can pop off.
No,
No,
I didn't
no.
say that.
Yeah.
It's
listen,
fine.
listen, the person who is the other Barbara Bear is actually the person who's being very modest is Linda Hoffman, who's the
Okay.
president of the New York Foundation for Seniors Citizens, and wanted to be on the call. So it's fine with me if she has my name for a minute. So
Okay.
It's a good name.
I'm taking from my president of what? President
the
of
New York Foundation for Senior Citizens, whose
Okay.
mission is to keep seniors in their own homes. And the person whose name is not Barbara Bear, but Linda Hoffman,
Got it, got
actually has built the organization over a many decade period so that it does an extraordinary job. And I'm just
Okay.
part of the home sharing, but so she is particularly concerned about all these issues and wanted to be on the phone
Perfect.
also. So
Perfect.
that's how that worked.
Okay.
I think it should be
Yeah.
noted in the minutes that we have two Barbara Bears, and why, because if this is being recorded,
Yeah, I have the minutes
Yes, sir.
saying who the people are. I got it.
okay, all right.
Okay, oh, Maria's coming on. Okay, we're gonna get started in another second or so. Shuli, you're okay now?
For the moment, you saw that I got knocked off and then it
Yes.
rejoined automatically. But Dee Hernandez emailed the group that she's trying to get in. She's been in the waiting room for a while. She wants to know if the meeting's canceled.
No, Ebenezer, that should be for him to fix. Ebenezer, are you allowed to upgrade? If someone's in the waiting room, can you look into that?
Yes, I tried to promote this person, Pat, but I can. I tried for a while. I'm gonna try it again. I don't know if she's calling only for the phone or what.
Okay,
She sent an email, so perhaps somebody wants to reply to her what her next steps should be.
again, I'll leave that up to Ebenezer. Okay, I think we're ready to start. Okay. I'll begin. I'll introduce myself, and then we'll have the committee members introduce themselves, and then we'll all go around, and then we'll begin with our first presentation. Hopefully by then, our presenter from the MTA will be here. Otherwise, we'll start with Barbara, who's oh, here she is. Here's Megan. Okay, so hi Megan. We're just doing introductions, so you're still on time.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay, so thank you, Ebenezer. So calling the meeting to order at 10:42 a.m. My first name is Yosef, so I should fix myself too. My name is Yosef Kalinsky, and I am the assistant chair of this committee. I'm filling in for Mary, who is on recuperation right now from a surgery, and hopefully she's healing and doing well at Isabella. And it's a pleasure to meet everyone today. I'll hand it off to either of my colleagues on the board who want to chime in now. That would be Maria or Richard. Looks like Richard, Maria left her chair, so why don't you say something? And then James.
Okay. There are three of us. I'm Richard Allman. I'm a member of CB12 and a member of the Aging Committee. In connection with my work, I also sit with the senior committees at CB9 and CB10. I'm working as a site director for ARC Fort Washington, which has sites in both Washington Heights and Harlem. And that executive director will introduce herself shortly.
Hi, I'm Maria Luna. I'm sorry, I have to jump. Someone is at my front door. I've been a member of the community board for 43 years. I'm a member of this. I started this committee, also the youth services committee. So sorry, I'm a little late. I tried to, to get in, and I had some problems, but I'm okay now. So let's have a nice meeting.
Great.
I'm James Bosley, a member of Community Board 12 and of this committee, also the Committee on Traffic and Transportation. And I'm a founder and member of Up Theater Company, which some of you may know perform live theater uptown.
Okay. Dory.
Good morning, everyone. Dory Garcia, Executive Director, ARC 16 Full Washington, Inc., Treasurer White Cola, and a public member of this committee.
Okay. Anyone want to go next?
I'm Miriam Rabner. I'm the Outreach Coordinator and the Cultural Sensitivity Liaison for MJHS, Hospice and Palliative Care, and I'm on the board of ICOA.
Should I call on people? Okay, Ashley.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ashley Carlos. I am the outreach social worker for Neighborhood Shops Elder Justice Program.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll have Barbara and then her colleague go. Linda.
So Barbara Baer, I'm the director of the home sharing program at the New York Foundation for Senior Citizens.
Linda Hoffman, and I am president of New York Foundation for Citizens. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, Verna Arthur with
Yes.
NYC Agent. I'm the Government Affairs Officer for Manhattan.
Okay. And Shuli's off again. Okay. Megan, you want to introduce yourself before you begin? Actually, let's introduce yourself and then we're probably ready to go. You're the first piece on the agenda.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Good morning. My name is Megan Molina. I'm an Assistant Director of Government and Community Relations over New York City Transit. I'm also joined by my colleague, Nick, who I'll pass over for an introduction.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nick Rollison. I'm Megan Molina's colleague. Thanks for having us today.
Okay. Okay, lady, you want to introduce yourself? We're just doing introduction still. Okay, she's on. She'll get on late a little bit in a few seconds. Okay, let's go because it's 10:46. So we have a few presentations today. According to the agenda, I'll just introduce them now and have them go in this order now that we're all assembled. The first presentation is going to be by Megan and her team on the Omni. Why is the MetroCard being replaced? How do you sign up? How does it impact our community? Then we're going to be hearing from Barbara Baer about her home sharing program. And then a short update as well from Richard and Ebenezer about some new Columbia Dental Health mobile van. And we'll move on to new business and plan for the next month's meeting. Okay, without further ado, let's hear our first presentation.
Thank you. I also just want to flag that we may also have another colleague. Her name is Rachel Cohen. She's from our system-wide accessibility team. She may join us if she's able to, but if not, you'll have me and Nick for today. So with that said, I'm going to share my screen so that you can see a brief presentation that we've put together on reduced fare Omni. It actually would need screen sharing access if that's something that could be provided for me.
Howdy, Ebenezer, hopefully doing that now.
Great. Okay. So can you all see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So yeah, so again, my name is Megan Molina, and my colleague Nick and I are here to talk to you about reduced fare Omni. We'll go into a little bit about what Omni is as a whole, and then how you're able to use your reduced fare benefit with our new Omni system. So Omni is the MTA's new fare payment system, or contactless fare payment system. Omni itself, it stands for One Metro New York, and it's a way that we're allowing folks to have different options when it comes to how to pay their fare on subway and buses. It is now available at all 472 subway stations, and all of our buses do have Omni readers. Eventually, the goal is that the MetroCard will be replaced by Omni, but we don't expect for that to happen until around 2024. So in the time being, we are going around to different communities to talk to them about Omni and about a reduced fare specifically as well. So here's an overview of where we're at with our timeline and rolling out Omni. In 2019, we launched Omni on subways and buses, and that phase has been completed. So customers are now able to tap and go on all subways and buses. From 2020 to 2022, we worked on enhancing the digital experience, which means we were able to allow customers to sign up for a free account where they can access benefits such as card management and view their trip history. Starting this year, actually, I think into last year as well, we have been working to expand our fare options, and that includes the rollout of reduced fare Omni. And in 2024, as I said, we anticipate that we will complete that rollout, and that's when we will do away with the MetroCard in the same way that we did away with the token at that time.
What's the year of that? When we moved from the token to the card?
I don't remember. Nick, do you remember what year that was? That was before.
I want to say 93, but don't quote me on that.
In that case, I would have been 1 year old.
Someone Google it. Someone Google it. We need to know.
A little fun fact for the day.
Yeah.
So how does Omni work, right? So here are the options when it comes to how you can use Omni. On the left, we have the pictures of the contactless credit, debit, or prepaid cards. You will know that that card is contactless if it has this little symbol here over on the right. So that is one way that you can use Omni, by tapping this card at the reader. Second way is to set up your digital wallet, and by doing that, you can tap your smartwatch or your smartphone that has your card uploaded there. And then finally, you would be able to buy or load a physical Omni card, which you can do at certain retail locations or online through an Omni account. But just an emphasis here too, and we'll get into more detail about this, the ability to buy a physical Omni card right now is limited to just full fare customers, but we will be providing more information about how you can get a physical card as a reduced fare customer. So a lot of these features have been mentioned already, but one of the benefits we haven't spoken about yet is the weekly fare capping system, which is a program that allows customers to ride for free after their 12th ride. Specifically, customers have to use the same card or device starting on a Monday, and then after their 12th ride, they can ride for free through Sunday, and then it resets again the following week. Also not mentioned is that the physical Omni card themselves, they are more durable affordable. They're expected to last for at least 7 years, which is great because it might minimize the amount of times you have to contact customer service for any inquiries pertaining to your card malfunctioning. And so moving on, here is some imagery of what the visual displays look like at our Omni readers. We've designed them so that it's made clear to all customers whether or not their payment has been accepted or declined. And that includes the use of large text and images, screen colors, creating a lot of visual contrast and audible tones and LED lights. On the left, we have the image that shows that the Omni reader is operational and ready for use. This here is what appears with a successful tap at an Omni reader that's located at a subway turnstile or at the front door of a bus. This third image here is indicative of a successful tap as well, but at a vertical subway turnstile or at an accessible service entry gate. And the last one over here indicates that the payment was not successful, but you can tap again to try again to see if you can get through. And with that, I will hand it over to Nick.
Okay, great. Thanks so much, Megan. So again, thanks for having us today, everybody. My name is Nick Rollison, and I'm going to talk about why we're here today. So when we give this presentation at senior centers, or we've been going around the city to different civic groups, to community boards, we always, we're here to talk about Omni, and we're also here to talk about how reduced fare applies to Omni. So you can go to the next slide, Megan. Perfect. So reduced fare is the good news here is that reduced fare benefits are going to be able to be used with Omni. When we go in person to a senior center, I always like to ask a show of hands, how many people are using reduced fare? And you'd be surprised that a lot of people aren't yet. So we always like to talk about what reduced fare is, because it's a chance for us to save you money. Reduced fare is a program that is run by the MTA, that if you are over the age of 65 or if you have qualifying disabilities, you can apply for reduced fare, and reduced fare will allow you to pay $1.35 for the swipe as opposed to the traditional $2.75. Your reduced fare card, if you have it, would look like it does there on the screen. It has your identification number, it has your photo, it has the big R in the corner, and that lets you know that you are in reduced fare. If you're interested in learning more about reduced fare, you can see the reduced fare office number there on the card, the 718-330-1234. Anybody who's interested in learning more about reduced fare can call that number. And in order to use reduced fare with Omni, you first have to be enrolled in the reduced fare program. So if anybody is interested in signing up for reduced fare, we can certainly talk about that after this meeting. You can follow up with Megan, and we can make sure that anybody who's interested in signing up for the program can enroll. You can go to the next slide, Megan. So the good news here is that Omni is here for our reduced fare customers. So reduced fare customers can now use Omni in the system just like everybody else is using it. As Megan mentioned on the timeline slide, we're currently in the phase where we're expanding fare options for Omni. So right now we're talking about reduced fare, and in the future, we're going to be talking about Access-a-Ride as well. You can go to the next slide, Megan. So the most important thing that I want people to take away from this presentation is this. If you are a reduced fare customer and you do not want to use your phone or a smart device or a watch or your credit card, you don't have to. By the end of the year, we're going to be mailing everybody who is a reduced fare customer a Omni card with all of their reduced fare benefits on it. Pardon me for 1 second. We have the fire alarm system going off here in the building. I want to make sure nobody hears that. Give me one. Okay, very good. Thank you. Sorry for that interruption. We had a test of the fire alarm system here in the building. So as I was saying, if you are a reduced fare customer and you do not want to use your smartphone, you don't want to use a credit card, it's okay. We're going to be mailing every reduced fare customer an Omni card that will have their benefits on it. So you should be looking for information in the mail from our reduced fare office about that switch. The one thing that I advise everybody to do right now is that if you are a reduced fare customer, please make sure that your address is up to date with us. If you've moved recently, please let us know that immediately, because as I said, all of the correspondence is going to be coming through the mail. But if you are a reduced fare customer and you want to sign up to use your reduced fare benefits on your phone, on your smart device, on your credit card, we're going to walk through how to do that now. So what you're seeing on the screen here right now is our main website, omni.info. That's omny.info. This is our homepage for Omni. We would encourage everybody to go to that webpage just to learn more about Omni. All of the information we're talking about here today is on that website. And when you visit that website, you'll see in the bottom right-hand corner, this little box where there's this purple arrow. It's blocked by my Zoom thing here, but this purple arrow that's pointing to this little digital assistant here in the bottom right-hand corner. You would simply click that button on the page. And then Megan, if you could go to the next slide. What will pop up is this digital assistant box here on the left-hand side of the screen. You'll see that it immediately prompts you, hello, I am Omni's digital assistant and I'm here to help you. How can I help? The first option right there on the screen at the top, the first option you can click is switch from reduced fare MetroCard to Omni. Yes, Megan is pointing at it right now with her mouse. Thank you. You would simply click that button, and then it will the chatbot will proceed to ask you for your account information. It will ask you how you want to pay, and it can sign up. It can switch your reduced fare benefits to Omni right there on the spot, and then you could continue to use that device to pay for all of your trips. The important thing to note is that if you put your reduced fare benefits on a device like your phone, you should always use this device. If you use a different device, then your reduced fare benefits are not on that device, right? So if I put my reduced fare benefits on my phone and I start paying with my credit card, I'm not going to get reduced fare because my reduced fare is on the phone. So please make sure you're always using the same device. It's screen reader, the digital assistant is screen reader accessible. It only takes a few minutes, and we have support from our Omni call center if you need more assistance. So Megan, can you go to the next slide? Now we're just going to play a very brief video. It's 1 minute long that just summarizes everything that we talked about and shows a little bit about how you can use your reduced fare benefits on Omni in the system. And hopefully the audio will play. Let's see if that works. Perfect. I hear it. I hope everybody else hears it.
We've got big news for reduced fare riders. Now you can sign up to tap for your subway and bus rides with reduced fare Omni. If you currently have a reduced fare MetroCard, you can link it to your own contactless credit or bank card, smartphone, or wearable. Then just tap to pay half fare and get free transfers on subways and MTA buses. Using your own card or device means you never need to load value or carry an extra card. And you can track your trips and payments online with a free, secure Omni account. If you're ready to start tapping, here's how. First, go to omni.info and sign up for a free Omni account. Once you verify your account, look for the Digital Assistant button in the lower right corner of the screen. It works on your desktop and on mobile devices. Make sure you have your reduced fare MetroCard number and the number on your credit or debit card you'll use to pay for your trips. You can either use a contactless credit or debit card or any card loaded into the digital wallet on your smartphone or watch. Once in the Digital Assistant, click Switch from Reduced Fare MetroCard to Omni. Follow the instructions to log into your Omni account and connect reduced fares to the card or device you want to tap with. When you see the success screen, you're ready to start tapping. Just remember that you can only get reduced fares using one payment method. That means if you sign up for Reduced Fare Omni with your phone, you should always tap with your phone. If you tap with anything else, like a debit card, you won't get reduced fare, even if the card and your phone are linked to the same account. And if you don't want to tap with your own device or card, reloadable Reduced Fare Omni cards will be available in 2023. Need further assistance? Call the Omni call center from 8 to 5 or send a request anytime at omni.info. That's everything you need to know to tap and go with Reduced Fare Omni. Thanks for riding with us.
I noticed there was a different number on that video than the one that you had before.
The number that you saw there on the video is our Omni call center. The previous number was for reduced fare. So Megan, if you could go to the next slide, we can just leave that up on the screen. We'll leave this up on the screen here. So this is our customer support information here. As I mentioned, our website is omni.info, which you see there on the left, and you can find everything online there. If anybody is interested in calling the Omni customer service line, that's the number there, 877-789-6669. We're there 7 days a week, 8 to 5, and people on that line can assist you with the switch. So that is a very brief overview of what Omni is, how to use Omni, and how your reduced fare benefits can be used with Omni. At this point, we'll take question and answers, and hopefully we will shed some light on this new system. And yeah, hopefully we can answer some questions. Thanks so much. Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much for that presentation and for offering to take both questions and answers from us. I think Maria usually has the answers. Others of us have the questions.
Well, no, I don't have the answers. I really don't understand the benefits, really. I mean, you know, it's easy for some people who like to, you know, to walk around with this thing on their hands and doing things. My problem will be, you have to have an account. You have to enter a bank account in order to, you know, to pay. Right. Now, what I usually do, what I have is my card, and I buy, you know, a certain amount, and I have it on my card. I go into the bus or this, and then I put it down to the little chute, and there I go. So now I have to get this thing on my hand, my pocketbook and my cane, the, you know, whatever it is that I have more, and enter this, which is very easy to register, but I just don't really see that, you know, that much change into the system. It's an additional thing to keep in our heads and things like that. I just don't know. But, you know, I thought we were going to propose years ago that there was a movement to have the senior people or people that need reduced help to eliminate the fare altogether. And so that's not going to be on the pipeline for many, many years to come, right? I would go with it's a free service for, you know, seniors or people with disability and things like that. But anyway, that's my dream.
Thank you, Maria. So yeah, we don't have any information about that part, but it sounds like you probably just would benefit from waiting until we do mail out the physical reduced fare Omni cards, which means you don't have to do anything today, right? You can keep doing what you're doing with your reduced fare Metro card. And when it gets to the time that we have programmed the reduced fare Omni cards, the physical cards, we will mail them to you, and then you can carry on as you have been and do not have to worry about using your phone. So that's all you need to worry about for today.
No, I mean, but it's another thing, like for people who have disability, people who have a, you know, a cane, a walker, a wheelchair, you have to wait for, you know, the ramp to come out, and if it's a bus that we are using, and now you have to have another thing in your hand, take it out. I mean, I just on a telephone, which is usually, you know, a little more awkward than a little car. But then, you know, I'm an old-fashioned person.
Yeah, it's everyone's preference at the end of the day. So, you know, we have the option for folks to use their phone or a contactless card if they want to and they're comfortable. But if they want to keep using the card because that's what they're used to, they'll be able to do that as well. So it really is your own personal choice to make.
Okay, I see a few hands. I just I put in the chat, it's 2003 that they stopped the token. That's amazing. We still have tokens, thinking about that.
Wow.
Yeah,
I was right about 93, but that's when we introduced the
03.
Metro card. I got that backwards. Yeah.
I see James and Richard. I think James had his hand up first, so go ahead, James.
Thank you. I have actually two questions. One is, when you're on Omni, can you pay per ride, or do you have to buy? What is the minimum amount of rides you can pay for? I'm thinking of people come from out of town, and maybe they don't need a week's worth, but how does that work?
For reduced fare or for
No,
full fare?
for any tourist that comes in, or
Yeah,
comes in from I don't know, Long Island or someplace.
Right. Yeah. The thing about Omni is that there are other systems like abroad that are using similar programs too. So even when like tourists do come to the neighborhood, they can like figure out ways that they can use their phone and tap and go. You don't have to put like a minimum balance or anything like that in the card. I will say that if, you know, folks do want to purchase a full fare card, there is like a one-time fee that you pay to purchase the card. But after that, you can just, you know, link your accounts and all that and pay as you go, so to speak.
Okay, thank you. My other question was, and I just read this, and I wish I remember where I read it. that the MTA chairman just announced that there is no timeline for ending the reduced fare Metro card. Do you guys have not heard anything about that?
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, sorry. So the right now the timeline is that we are sending reduced fare cards to we're sending cards to reduced fare customers sometime this year. The remaining issue is that there are cards that have been issued, let's say, yesterday, that will not expire until 2025. So this is going to be a gradual phasing out. People who get renewals now will be once we have the reduced fare Omni cards, people will start receiving those, and then as people start having their card expire, we're going to switch them to reduced fare Omni. So we're anticipating that whole process will be completed by 2025, but it's still an evolving process.
Thank you.
Thank you. I should add that the main thing that we're still waiting for is for the machines to get put into the system. We want to make sure that when people get the reduced fare Omni card, they can go to the system and fill their card up at the machine with cash, just like they would normally with their Metro card.
Excellent. Okay, Richard?
The Omni system that's being proposed seems on the surface pretty rational, pretty consistent with how we pay a lot of bills, et cetera, today. Also, though, part of it is we're going to be giving, in using that MTA, more data than we've ever given before. It is going to provide links to our bank accounts. That's also something we're doing in many, many situations right now. But can you talk a little bit about the security that MTA is putting into place that makes some of the data breaches we see less likely?
You do not need to link a credit card. You can still use cash to fill up the card. That's a concern that we hear a lot, is that I fill up my Metro card with cash. You'll still be able to fill up an Omni card with cash, and that wouldn't have any personal information on it. If you are a reduced fare customer, the card will have the same information that your reduced fare Metro card has. So it would be the same level of data that you have now.
But if we're not using the card itself and going fully into the Omni system, working with our phones, talk about it from that perspective too, please.
So you're asking if you do tap with like your phone for a credit card or something like that?
It's certainly going to be, there are good reasons to do that, of course.
Exactly right. And the phones themselves have their own security features. Our data does not get shared or spent anywhere else. So we consider it a very secure system. But like I said, I mean, the main thing is that if you're concerned about your credit card tapping, and we hear that complaint a lot, we hear that concern a lot. A lot of people are concerned about it. You don't have to use your phone. You don't have to, you can continue to use cash, and that would not put any, footprint or thumbprint on that transaction. So if that is something that is concerning to you, I would just say continue to fill up the card with cash, as has been the case.
Okay. Verna.
Okay, so this may sound a little infantile, but let's say I'm using the phone to tap my passes, and I happen to just forget my phone at home. When I reach to the subway, can I actually purchase an Omni card to go through the turnstile? Can I use that?
Yes, that's a very good question. We get that a lot. I would say
Okay.
that we get a lot of questions that are like, if I don't have the phone, if the phone battery dies, things of that nature, which is a good thing to be concerned about. What I would say is that that's just like if you left your Metro card at home, right? It would be the same situation. That happens to me all the time, right? You leave the Metro card on your coffee table, you leave the house, and then you got to get another card. So it would be the same situation. You would have to go to the machine, get another card, and pay for the fare that way.
First, fine.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
allow the reporter into their home, period.
Okay. You could take down your hands now, I guess, Richard and Verna. Anyone else here that I'm not seeing? You could stop the share screen maybe too. All see each other a little bit better. Awesome. And we have a few people who joined us. Wow, look at that. I think that's it in terms of questions. In terms of that first presentation, we're ready to move on to the next. So we thank the MTA.
I'm sorry, what happened to the people, it just occurred to me, people that have the fancy telephones, they have those little, what they call it, the Obama, telephone, they cannot
Dumb
use
phones?
the device, right?
Yeah, you can still get an Omni card. You don't have to
Oh,
have a
okay.
phone.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
He was just testing us to see if we were listening.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, I don't know if I missed this, but I put in the chat, how would we find out about having a presentation at the individual centers?
So I will put my email address in the chat, and you can reach out to me and we can talk about coming to a specific senior center that's in the community, and it would be the same presentation, but just in person or virtual if you want it that way.
Thank you.
And I just want to, Maria's point, I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that if you want to use your phone, it does need to be a smartphone. You need to be able to conduct electronic payments on it. We get that question a lot about, can I use my flip phone to use Omni? It needs to be able to take financial transactions.
Thank you.
Okay. Great. It's good to see some people were able to get into the meeting. We're going to move on to the agenda. It's already 11:15 to hear now from a presentation related to the Home Share Program and New York Foundation for Seniors. I'll give the floor over to Barbara.
Well, thank you very much. Do we have 10 or 15 minutes, or do you
Yes.
end it?
Yeah,
Do you end at 11:30 or?
No, 12. We're good.
Okay, oh, so I should only go on about an hour or two. So thank you for having us. And first, I want to say that Maria Luna is an institution in this town and a real treasure. And I've known her and her work forever. And whenever there was an issue, especially in government, we would call Maria Luna. So I'm particularly happy to see you and see that you're still
All
pushing
right.
it. I want to agree with
I'm
you.
alive. I'm
You're
alive.
alive, me too. So listen,
Thank you.
for a long time, we were pushing for seniors to be, have no fare on the subway. We didn't win, but the truth of the matter is, it's more relevant now than ever
Right.
because seniors have so little money,
Correct.
which really gets me to home sharing, because the home sharing program, which comes out of the foundation and it's been in existence for about 40 years, is really a means of offering to one senior as a guest housing and to the other senior as a host an opportunity to have a little bit more cash. And the details I'll just go over very briefly, but the point of the matter is that the way one applies at the New York Foundation for Seniors, and this program is run by licensed social workers, is that all one has to simply do is get 3 character references from professionals so that we can, and we check them, unlike many programs which may not, we check every one of them to make sure they're appropriate and correct. And the point is to make sure that when we do these matches, we have done everything we can to make sure that they're safe and that ultimately that the people have some relationship and are good companions. We have character references plus a 32 question profile, which we ask everybody so that we ultimately have licensed social workers who match the people. Now it seems, that sounds very simple, but it's very complicated because every person has their own idiosyncratic needs, behavior, and wants. And the reason I'm here is that I realized someone reached out a while ago to me from the community boards, and I realized that, of course, I should talk to the community boards because the elite and the people who are most grounded in the communities are on the community boards. So I'm really asking on behalf of all seniors if you can help a little. And here is what the problem is. The problem is that we're getting a tremendous number of calls from seniors whose total income is $900, $950. And they don't have enough money. And just yesterday, I was at a briefing as for Linda, the other Barbara's suggestion, we talked about what happens when they call, and I try to promote SNAP and other whatever else. And I'll try to remind them now of the half fare, but there should be no fare. The point is, this is all a lot of what a lot of people are, this is the card that a lot of people are dealt in their final years, and it's unfair and all of those words. But the point is, what can we do to help? So what we try to do is find a lot of hosts, and we have matched people in Washington Heights, and I'm hoping that you can think and advise me on some other ways to reach out to people to find some hosts. That is a person who has an extra room in their apartment, who'd like to have the room, share the utilities, and get some income for their rent, and therefore really give a person a decent place to live. And that's what we really do. And given, I'm sure you've all read about the state of affordable housing, the rent increases, and the fact that the legislature adjourned without, in fact, doing anything about affordable housing, we are getting many more desperate calls for housing. So I'm hoping that you all might have some ideas, and if you want more details, I'm happy to give them. But this program goes in the grid of the New York Foundation for Senior Citizens mission, keep seniors at home. And we have respite care, which is a program where if someone love gets discharged from a hospital and they haven't thought about getting some help, and all of a sudden they find themselves at home, we can send a home health attendant to their home for several hours a week, and they pay the home attendant, but the pay is only $17 an hour, which is half of what is charged by the for-profits, and we vet the home health attendants. So those are the programs that I want to mention, as well as our own home health attendance program, where we have people who really need some more help. And we have a guardian program, and we have a variety of other programs. But the home sharing program is essential, really essential to the well-being of a lot of people. And so I know that for all that we've been around, a lot of people have not heard about it. And that's why I came to you to ask if there were some opportunities you could think of that I could reach out, and whether you had any thoughts about where there's some possibilities of some buildings that might be more likely to take hosts or have guests, and also, what the state you think of many of the seniors is.
Could
Okay,
you
thank
give
you very
the
much.
age parameters, please, Barbara? What are the age parameters for the hosts and the guests?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I forgot that. The one person has to be 60 and the other person over 18. So, you can, to some extent, call it intergenerational, and that does happen. We actually have a program with NYU where we've been successful at placing some seniors with students, and that's worked well. And some seniors love it, and it's wonderful for the students considering the housing cost. But mainly we're looking more to try to help many of the seniors who are not, in fact, the host, but the guests in these programs, many of the seniors to have more of an opportunity to have a safe and kind and good place to live. And it's amazing to me when I get these phone calls, which I do every day, and it's very sad. And it's a program that will just help in many, many ways.
Thank you. It's a beautiful program. And we should definitely get the word out. I put that you have a website. I just put that on the
Great.
chat as well. It would probably make sense, Ebenezer, you're on here, to also have this presentation, not just with this group, and to get the information out to the senior homes, but also maybe at the general board meeting, especially in terms of hosts. We have meetings once a month, and that's where we bring the community together. All the committees come together, and it's open to the public.
Okay.
I would suggest that as well. Ebenezer, you can give them information if they wanted to give them a few minutes to present at the either this month's or next month's board meeting. Are you?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, this is primarily New York City.
It's all New York City. Yeah.
It's New York City.
Yeah.
Yes, please send us an email requesting it so I coordinate with our chairperson. My email is ebsmith@cb.nyc.gov. ebsmith@cb.nyc.gov.
Okay. Thank you. My good friend Richard Allman is also here, and I wanted to say hello to him. I saw him on Tuesday. He was at another community. He mentioned he goes to Community Board 9, and he also does a huge amount. And so I'm glad maybe he can spread the word a little bit. It's wonderful to see people who believe in New York City enough that they continually serve because you all really believe in it. So thank you. And let me just say that perhaps Linda Hoffman would like to say a few words.
Hi,
And I
thanks, Barbara, and thanks everyone for listening. You know, this program has been going on for over 4 decades. I started the program, it's sort of my baby. It's a very small boutique type program. We do about 50 home sharing matches a year, both in apartments and in people's own private homes. And it's been very successful. We've had very few situations where we've had to undo matches, I think less than 5 over these years. And we do hear all these calls coming in from people who are absolutely desperate for housing. And, you know, in this strange economy and with all kinds of budget cuts and with the inflationary situation, even to buy food, that it's a godsend for this program. It's kind of a strange concept to think of living with so-called a stranger. But in fact, as Barbara said, we have professional licensed New York State masters social workers, each of whom is working on this program, as well as the respite care component of the program. And we are very, very careful. Home sharing is not for everyone. We do outreach. People think about it. It takes a long time to sink in many instances. Some people, it sinks in immediately when they are confronted with eviction or suddenly a rent increase. And it's the most amazing thing is that the matches that we've implemented over the years, and we do about 25 to 30 matches a year. We've just finished our 23rd match for this fiscal year. We've got 3 more that are about to happen, which is not big, because we're so careful. But the way it seems to work, and I hate to compare it to any kind of a dating service, but in a way it does or can be compared to dating, because even more so, when we introduce people to each other, first on the telephone, and then we have pre-match in-person meetings, it either clicks or it doesn't. They make a decision really very, very quickly, and it doesn't depend on any commonalities in any way, age, religion, race. The most significant thing is that people seem to click when they have common interests. People who are interested in exercise, theater, reading. It's the most incredible experience to be involved in this program. And it's very heartwarming when we make matches. And I was just, every week, we send our board copies of little quips on the various people that we've matched. I just gave it to my assistant to retype. If you give me one moment, I'll read you a couple of them. Hold on. This is match number 20, match number 21. This is only, each is one short sentence. Is between a 69-year-old African-American woman and retired hospital aide who's serving as a host in her 3-bedroom Rosedale, Queens home to a 73-year-old single Caucasian woman and retired executive assistant. Match number 22 of this fiscal year, between a 62-year-old Caucasian widow who is employed as a social worker and serving as a host in her 3-bedroom Midwood, Brooklyn apartment to a 34-year-old single Caucasian woman who is employed as a dental office patient coordinator. Match number 23 is between a 67-year-old divorced Caucasian gentleman who is employed as a project manager at an architectural firm and serving as a host in his 2-bedroom Fort Greene, Brooklyn apartment to a 75-year-old divorced Caucasian gentleman and retired sales manager. In 2 instances, I see the individuals are, let's see, of the same ethnicity. In one instance, there is a person who is African American and one who's Caucasian. In these instances, it looks like we have, out of 3 matches, there's only one man who is the host to, wait, no, I guess there are two gentlemen, a host and a guest. So in this instance, they're all same sex that have been matched, but often we have men with women. So you just never know what the combination will be. But they all seem to work. And usually the amount that they're paying toward household expenses is between about $600 or $800 and about $1,000. And some of it, I guess, there's sometimes a little extra if they include Wi-Fi or utilities or whatever. Some do charge, some don't. And the last thing I will say is that we also do what's called a service exchange, which means that some of the hosts will need services such as shopping for food or escorting or possibly light housekeeping in exchange for either low or no cost toward household expenses. So if you know anyone who would be interested in this program, please let us know if we should send brochures or any kind of for your office posters or whatever. We also have palm cards to get the word out. We would appreciate it.
Thank you very much. This very exciting program, and we hope to be able to share with others as well, and hopefully make more matches.
Thank you.
Okay. Richard, do you have good news for us?
Probably, just a second.
You ready?
Give me a subject, okay? I probably
Yeah. Oh,
do,
you're
but
supposed to be
catching
speaking
me
about.
by surprise.
Sorry, you're supposed to be speaking about the ribbon cutting for the mobile dental location. Sorry.
I want to speak first from our Arkfort, Washington experience. We've had the opportunity to work with Columbia's dental school with their Dent Care bus, which provides services now to 2 of our 3 centers monthly. It's a tremendous service. It's been a wonderful connection to have. It both brings some services and screenings out and happens in a very professional way. They've been really good people to work with. They now have a second bus, and I think that's what I'm being asked to present on today. There was a ceremony for that second bus recently. I guess I'm glad to be someone. I don't know what their capacity is at this point. I know that 6 months ago, they were very hesitant to expand just because they didn't have the capacity. Whether they can take on all of us at this point who would love to have this service, I suspect not, but I'm glad to help with the connections if that's possible. I believe they're going to be doing some, the second bus is going to be in some ways a multi-purpose healthcare bus. Our scheduling with them for this month is that they are both doing some dental care and some skin cancer screenings, which just strikes me as about as relevant a thing as you could do for the people that all of us are serving. And I guess that all of us are. It was a good ceremony. You know, the hors d'oeuvres and the sandwiches were good if we're talking about a ribbon cutting ceremony, but the service is even better. And I'm glad to help with any connections possible.
Okay, so do you know which centers they've serviced? Dory, they're with you. Anyone else here on the call that is receiving this service?
No. Give me about 3
I
minutes.
do know that they also have they also serving the school at 181st, because they also working with the school as well. I did share Daniel's information with a lot of the people in this meeting, including the senior centers director. And according to him, it will be hard to serve them all, but he was gonna try to see if they haven't reached him. If you guys need the information again, I can forward it again.
Mr. Chairman, give me an opportunity to amplify a little more what Rich has said. This ribbon cutting ceremony happened on April 11, and Mary Anderson, Faith Florimon, Richard, and myself attend. And it was for the Columbia Harlem Homeless Medical Partnership Dental Clinic, the mobile unit. They have this new unit, and Mary asked us to give it a report. The contact information is the 347-614-2121, 347-614-2121. You are welcome to come to get this service. This bus is dedicated for people who doesn't have any documented. They don't have documented here to be in the country. They don't have insurance. They have low income, but anyone is welcome to come to use these services. Mary also asked us to share some photos from that day, and I would like to do that. You allow me. Here is the some photos from the moment of the ribbon cutting ceremony. People who participated. And here is Mary using the elevator to go in. Is accessible for people with mobile disabilities.
Can you click on the pictures? We can't really see them the way they are right now.
Oh, no. You see it now?
No, click on it.
Yes, I'm clicking it.
Okay, it's not doing much.
Do you see this one now?
They're icons. They're small. And
yes.
You don't have good vision on this meeting.
You have to change the window.
Okay, change the window.
You have to look where the picture is showing and share that window instead of the icons.
Okay. What about now? You got it now?
No, we
Nope.
can't see it.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
We don't. I don't know if we have time to
Okay. So I'm
maybe
sorry for that, but Mary asked to do this, and I thought that I tested before. It's not happening. So sorry about it. Okay.
No problem.
Okay, that's basically the basic information. I was told by Ross Fromer from Columbia University that anyone interested in having the service, just to contact the number that I gave, 347-614-2121. I don't know, Richard, if you have any other thing to add.
Yes, no, maybe. And Dory, thanks for that. That's the way to reach them. That's the contact.
Yes, that's our
Schedule.
one of the administrative lead. Anyone can contact him and he will be able to let you know if he can provide the services in any other center.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll add that to the minutes too. Thank you. Okay, thank you. That's great. So far, a few presentations have been very positive, learning about new ways that seniors can access things and match them up and provide the services that they need in our community. So thank you for those presentations. I'm going to share any of the new business. Just one comment, especially for our board members, you've been hearing this time and time again. We are now switching to hybrid starting the last 2 months of the year, May and June, before we get our break. And that means that there needs to be quorum at the location at Russ Berry. So those that are able to make it in person, please make an effort to have it in person. Ebenezer, I hope this means there's gonna be a lot of good food there for people to see each other and to socialize, which we haven't done in a long time. It's worth it. If Maria comes, we should have a standing room only meeting. That's what I have to say. We have to get together. So I just wanted to mention that as well. There is a Zoom option for others to join us, but we do need quorum in the room officially, and I'm assuming the office is going to be calling people to make sure that we do get the quorum. We have for next month Richard again, who will be presenting to us. When he gets back to us, we will ask him if he wants to just give us a little bit of a sneak preview. And the next meeting for this committee is in June, on June 1st, on Thursday at 10:30. Are there any other comments, new business? Maria, is that a new hand or an old hand? A new hand, yeah, you're on mute though, and then we'll give Richard a second.
Okay,
Go ahead,
thank
Maria.
you. I received an invitation from Columbia University, Sandra Harris and also Ross Fromer. They having a breakfast to discuss about the Alzheimer's disease. And it's gonna be Monday, May 8th. What are we today? It's from 8:30 to 10:30. I will give you the telephone number. Those that would like to RSVP. I don't have the whole information. I mean, I have it here, but I just don't know.
But just one second, it's a symposium. What is this?
Yeah, yes. It's a discussions about the research that they are doing. They are being done about Alzheimer's. So I'll give you the telephone number. Those interested is 212-342-3055.
And where is the location and what time?
That's gonna be down at 104 Haven Avenue, near 171st Street. So make sure that they have to be an RSVP.
And what time?
8:30 to 10 a.m. May 8th, Monday.
Okay. Okay, anything else?
Yes, I have a couple of announcements.
Sure.
So ARC partnered with Mariah for the closing of the 8th train station, 184th and Overlook Terrace. We actually are doing shuttle buses from 184th and Overlook Terrace to 190th and over on a loop from 11 to 2, Monday to Friday, to seniors that need to go up and down that hill or go into the senior centers around the area from 11 to 2, and those that are not registered, someone is always with the driver able to register them on the spot. Also, ARC will be celebrating their 50th anniversary June 9th at the Chavez Center from 5 to 9, and that's at 3940 Broadway, right across the street from the hospital. And on Thursday, June 15th, Waikoa will have its annual conference from 9 to 2 at the Yeshiva University. And in our conference name for this year is Aging Strong. More information and save the date flyers come. So any questions, you can email me or you can email Waikoa.
Amazing. Okay, any other?
I just wanted, yes, Yosef, I want to say something. It's Miriam from MJHS.
Mhm.
I've had trouble logging in to the meeting today, as did about 7 or 8 other people. It's not the first time. And are we doing something wrong? Are there new phone numbers? If not for Dory sending out the information, several of us would not have been able. So I just wanted to bring this to
Thank you. No, I was thinking about that as well. Ebenezer, can you speak to that?
Yes, we received a few phone calls from one participant. We resent the link and he was able to join us. Really, I don't know, it's the Zoom link. You have a general link. I need to review what is here, but it's the link. For many people work very easily. For other people did not work very easily. But nevertheless, we're gonna.
Are you hearing this from other committees, or is it just this committee?
No, well, this committee today. But nevertheless, we're gonna look into that. I don't know.
Thank you so much. Thank
Yeah,
you.
sure.
Appreciate it.
Can I say something? I think it was just probably an error with the link. It was sent for the traffic and transportation meeting instead of the
Oh.
aging committee meeting. I think that was probably the issue.
Okay, I'm gonna look into that. That's an error that is
Yeah,
preventable.
it was. Yeah, exactly. It's just a typo in a sense.
We appreciate it because we want to join, and we thank you for welcoming us. So thank
No,
you.
thank you for
Make it
letting me
easy.
know about it. Thank you for letting me know about it.
Okay. Anything else? Otherwise, yes, Richard. Oh, also, Richard, can you mention something while you have this about the presentation for June?
Let me do 2 topics here. I
Okay.
want to answer the questions that were raised about the Columbia Dental Bus first. They're actually here today, so I went out to talk to them for a minute. Their general message is that they remain, even with the new bus, really stressed on capacity. They're very willing to have people contact them. They're almost always willing to do one-time events, a screening event, something that brings people into the process. The regular service that we've been fortunate enough to tap into, they're doing right now with, I believe, 3 groups of senior centers. And I think the folks from MJHS may be able to do a little bit of clarification of what they are or aren't doing with your team. But they're working with us, with our 3 centers. They're working with 4 centers through Arch Care right now. And there may have been one other that they mentioned. I think the best thing to encourage is that people get in touch with them. If I can facilitate that, I will. But they don't have a lot of capacity at this point yet for regular service anywhere. As for the presentation that I've been asked to do for June, I'll have to acknowledge it's a little bit behind in preparing, and I had hoped to be in touch with Yosef over the next week.
Okay. We will wait in suspense
Um,
and anticipation.
Probably not the tone I want to set, but okay. I'm going to be signing off at this point.
Excellent.
It isn't that we need to sign off, but I got someone waiting here.
Understood, understood. Okay, this was a very informative morning with lots of information for us to share and to digest. It's always enjoyable to see so many friends and familiar faces. And if there aren't any other questions, if there is a motion, I would take a motion to adjourn. Anyone want to suggest? James, okay, and seconded. And we will. You have a question? That's seconded.
Happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Thank you. Thank you,
Take
Maria.
care.
Thank you.
Okay, goodbye.
Thank you for great meeting. Bye now.